And women of the Clay County Sheriff's Office, but just want to weigh in on what we're seeing going on, played out across the media or mainstream media in this country. Look, folks, don't fall victim to subjecting yourselves to this conversation that law enforcement is bad, that law enforcement is the enemy of the citizens that we're sworn to protect and serve. We swore an oath. And in that oath, we swore to support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the government, and that we're duly qualified under the state's Constitution to hold office. That is, for me as a sheriff, and for these men and women as deputy sheriffs, and we end that with, so help me God. But God is absent from the media's message, or Black Lives Matter, or any other group out there that's making themselves a spectacle, disrupting what we know to be our quality of life in this country. In Clay County, we have a great quality of life. We have a great relationship with our community. But across this country, not so much. I just wanted to take a stand with these men and with these women who feel the same way that I do. Lawlessness, that's unacceptable in this country. Lawlessness, that's unacceptable in Clay County. And if you threaten to come to Clay County and think that for 1 second that we'll bend our backs for you, you're sadly mistaken. I know what happens when lawlessness prevails. And in this day and time, God is raising up men and women, just like the folks you see standing behind me, who will have strong backbones and will stand in the gap between lawlessness and the good citizenry that we're sworn to protect and serve. So you can threaten all you want. You can say, hey, let's go to Clay County, or let's go to some other peaceful county where their problems don't exist, or not so much like across this country, where relationships are great and not strained, and where the people support their sheriff and support the men and women who wear the uniform. And you'll have something waiting on you that you don't want. Yes, we'll protect your constitutional rights as long as you remain under the umbrella of peaceful protest or peaceful march. But the second that you step out from up under the protection of the Constitution, we'll be waiting on you. And we'll give you everything you want. All the publicity, all the pain, all the glamour and glory for all that 5 minutes will give you. Is it a threat? Absolutely not. But somebody has to step up in front of the camera and say, enough is enough. Tearing up Clay County, that's not going to be acceptable. And if we can't handle you, you know what I'll do? I'll exercise the power and authority as the sheriff, and I'll make special deputies of every lawful gun owner in this county. And I'll deputize them for this one purpose, to stand in the gap between lawlessness and civility. That's what we're sworn to do, and that's what we're gonna do. You've been warned.
What's going on, family? This is Chris Miles from The Chris Miles Show. I came across this video by this individual by the name of Darrell Daniels. He's the sheriff down in Clay County, Jacksonville, Florida. This man had a lot of tough talk he threw out there. A lot of red meat he's dangling. He said something that was very profound, that he took an oath to the Constitution to protect and to serve. Darrell Daniels, let me put you up on something. That very oath that you took to the Constitution to protect and serve, you go out here and violate people's right under the Constitution, and that very oath that you sit on will be taken from you. Just so you know. Just so you know. So all of that red meat you're dangling out here for white folks and all this tough talk and tough rhetoric that you're throwing out there against the protesters, if they come to Clayton County, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, understand this, man. A lot of us ain't playing with police officers. I don't support Black Lives Matter. I'm not a part of Black Lives Matter. I don't support Antifa. I'm not a part of Antifa. I want you to know this. I damn sure don't support law enforcement. Black people in America has had enough of the bias, the prejudice, the racism, the bigotry, and the white supremacy dealing with police in America. Police brutality in America. So you don't get kudos here, partner. I want you to know this. I'm going to be laconic as possible. People have a right to protest. You don't have a right to threaten them. Under the Constitution of the United States that supersedes Clay County, you do not have a right to threaten anybody, Negro. So just so you know, you violate their constitutional right, your oath gets violated. The Moving Finger Rights has written, moves on. Good day. The Moving Finger Rights has written, moves on. This is the Chris Miles Show.